Sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You can call us here at 737-7767. We'll be glad to answer any calls that you might have. And until that starts coming on, though, we do have a guest, and we have not really treated him right tonight.
He's been sitting in with us tonight, just hanging out, watching
after what he did for us tonight.
He has. I tell you what, he's got a recipe that is absolutely amazing. Dude. We've already sampled it a little bit, so.
There ain't a safe mule deer out there.
No, there ain't. No, I'm ready to book a hunt right now.
I am too. I might hit a couple on my way out there.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
Chris Baenziger. Chris, thank you so much for being on the show with us tonight. And by the way, you're an awesome cook.
It's my pleasure as always. I
don't understand why you're not 350 pounds, you know.
I tell you, the beauty with that recipe is it doesn't just have to be with mule deer. That's just what was in the freezer.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of times I've found that if you'll use like fresh savory herbs, garlic, fresh rosemary, I grow that in my garden, so I keep it all the time. You just go out there and clip some off. But even with just regular beef steak, you get a good hot cast iron skillet, melt you some butter in that pan with that fresh cloves of garlic and rosemary. Just set your steak in there and then just kind of lather the steak as it's cooking, a couple minutes each side. It turns out.
I want to ask you something, because I like to cook too, and I like good taste. Flash searing wild game kind of seals that moisture inside, doesn't it?
It does.
It doesn't dry it out. You know, I've been to people's houses, and we've been to wild beast feasts and things like that, and you eat, and it's like, oh, this is a hockey puck. I mean, and I'm not dissing anybody.
No, but
I'm
you
just
can
saying,
do it real easy with wild game. It's got to be right.
Wild game really fast.
Wild game is very lean.
Yes.
So it's going to dry out on you. So you don't ever want to take wild game past, I would say 140 degrees internal temperature.
Yeah.
A good medium rare.
A good medium rare.
And that would be as far as I would go.
But do you flash sear something?
When I cook that today, I use a big green egg. I've been using one for a while now. I'll get that thing rolling about 700-800 degrees.
Yeah.
In about a minute and a half each side, and she's coming off.
She's coming off. That's the way to do it.
And it puts a nice crusted sear on the outside.
I like a 3-minute meal.
The inside, it just is tender and juicy and moist, and it'll stay that way.
Yeah.
The other trick to it is to let it rest. You always want to when you cook a steak or wild game like that, you want to let that meat rest to let the juices and stuff that cook out of it kind of pull back in to retain in there.
Well, now how do you do that? I mean, do you keep it in the pan?
What I'll do when I take a steak off, I'll just put it on my cutting board, take a little piece of aluminum foil and kind of just make a little tin over it, leave it there for about 5-10 minutes.
Really?
And just let those juices pull back into that meat. The worst thing you ever want to see is when you cut into a steak and juice just starts pouring out of it.
Yeah.
When that happens, it's going to be dry.
You're losing everything.
Where if you'll let that meat rest to where that moisture will pull back into the meat, it'll retain in there and just stay as moist and juicy as you want it.
I like him. Hey, we got a caller here. Let's go to a line. Andrew, how can we help you tonight?
Well, first of all, just wanted to say I really enjoy your show.
Thank you.
It's the highlight of my week.
We appreciate that.
It's a highlight of ours.
Yeah, we have a good time doing it. So
it's a true blessing.
Thank you, Andrew.
Enjoy all the programs you have, things you talk about.
We appreciate it. You got a special question for us tonight?
Yes, I got a question and a comment.
Okay.
The question is, seeing that there's been a reduction in the population of turkey, do you know if the TWRA is planning to do any more reintroductions to bolster that population?
Make sure your mic's
Well, to answer your question, Andrew, yes. Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency is in the process of doing a study along with the National Wild Turkey Federation that's located right here in the state chapter. They're all getting together, trying to find some surveys, trying to work it. I don't know if we're going to get to the point of going and trapping birds and relocation and all that. I don't know that that's going to happen.
I don't know if they'll get that far or not, but I mean, that's the only way they can move. I mean, you can't just incubate wild turkeys. You've got to move adult turkeys, or not necessarily adults, but you know what I mean. You cannot just incubate
Brandon,
eggs.
you know as well as I do, that's the way it started. That's the way we were trapping in Dixon County and
all over. I mean,
Giles and all up in there. We were trapping them and moving them to different places. I don't know that that's the recommendation right now. I do know that a study is being done right now because there has been so much concern. Yeah. So I think it's going to be one of those wait and see. I think you're going to hear something about the end of summer.
Maybe you'll probably get some information, but it's not something they're going to find a solution to in a year.
Well, it didn't happen overnight, so we can't fix it overnight.
That's right. It's going to take a little bit of time of they're going to have to get numbers from multiple years and put them together.
I'll give you my personal view. If it's worth anything, I think we need to drop the bag limit down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that may be coming, you know, and whatever their recommendations are, I mean, that's what we need to go with.
I think instead of 4, we ought to go to 2.
But either way, whatever it takes, they'll come up with something. But it is being researched right now, and it'll take time.
I do too. I just think because we got other states that's right here local. I mean, we could in 2 hours you can be in Alabama, or 2 hours you can be in Kentucky hunting those birds too. So I mean, 2 I think is good enough for Tennessee for right now, and because we kind of aren't doing anything with the hens, so we're getting like 15 hens to 1 gobbler, which is not a bad deal.
No, that's okay.
That's a good one. But we hope that helps you out, Andrew.
Yes, that helped out quite a bit.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
I did share with you that I was in Cades Cove yesterday and I saw 17 bears.
Oh,
that's a good day in Cades Cove.
Isn't Cades Cove one of the better spots in Tennessee?
It is. That's a lot of fun to get there.
Love that place. I'll tell you what. Well, thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
And Tony, how can we help you tonight? Tony?
Yeah.
How can we help you tonight, brother?
Yeah, this is for Chris. This is your buddy, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
This is for Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Tony, how are you?
Chris, did you ever try them pigeons?
I did. It's Turtle Man, right?
That's right.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Been wearing the crappie out.
Good, good. Yeah, hey,
we got a recipe for crappie, don't we, Chris?
That's right. Yeah, we can cook crappie, but we was at a dove shoot back opening day of September last year, and he ended up shooting a few pigeons, which is basically the same species as a dove.
It is a dove.
And,
it is a dove.
So I cook them up the same way that I do my dove. Primarily, I'll use hot and spicy Allegro wrapped in bacon.
Yeah.
Another good way is Worcestershire and lemon juice, 50-50 mix. That does real well, and Tony, they turned out great.
All right. Well, Tony, we appreciate you calling in, brother.
No problem. Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you.
You too.
Hey, we got to take a quick break.
Well, we do, but we're going to do our tip of the week first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to do tip of the week.
We're going to do this week's tip of the week. This week it's been brought to you by our friends over at Davidson Farmers Co-op. You can see them right here in Nashville. They're just right off Brownlee Parkway, about a mile right there on Dixon Road. All sorts of spring specials, things like that going on right now. So get down there and see what they can do for you. Hugh, what kind of tip we got this week?
Well, I was going to give one, but when I saw your video, I wanted to give a different one.
All right.
I think Brandon hit it right on the nail right on top of the head when it comes to youngsters. And ladies and gentlemen, let's face it, that's our future is that little 9-year-old. That little 9-year-old that got excited. But you see how Brandon did it. He took him, Took him hunting in the morning. He didn't wear him out all day. They went and did something fun like fishing, where you don't have to be still, you don't have to be quiet. You can throw your arm out of socket if you want to.
And anybody can catch one around there.
And anybody can catch a fish, right? You know, you try to think that way. And then he took him back and got him excited again and got back in the woods again the very next day. And luckily, I mean, he got one right off the bat.
It worked out, man. I mean, yeah, it didn't take long at all. You know,
but that's what I'm saying. That's how I think we need to get our youngsters involved and keep them involved. My grandfather took me, and the first thing we ever hunted was squirrel. And you didn't have to be still, and you didn't have to be real quiet. And we learned other things, you know, and it was just a different experience when you get to know the different kinds of white oaks, red oaks, overcups, you know, all the different acres. My granddaddy would sit there while I'm sitting there waiting on that squirrel to come out of that hole. He'd tell me the difference.
Squirrel hunting will teach you a lot about deer hunting. It'll teach you a lot about deer hunting. I mean, it really does. Growing up squirrel hunting will get you started in the right direction.
But if you know what, if a squirrel comes out and you scare it, okay, so wait a minute, wait 5 minutes, he'll be right back. You know,
you got to get to where you're that way with deer and turkey when you're taking them, to be honest. And once you get to that point, you'll never enjoy anything more than taking a kid. Yeah. We're going to take a break here, guys. We'll be back here in just a minute with a great recipe from Chris and some more Southern Woods and Waters.